Yes. What qualifies one to become an Ezeji? Sure. I'm an Mbaise National Cultural Festival. Okay.
Yes, hello, everyone. Welcome. Yes. Thank you, Sir Warrior. Away here, Onye Hiomaso. We love that soundtrack. And it reflects what we are going to share today because the Ihioma in Igbo land is our king of the crop. So we continue our part 3 of our discussions on that king of the crop, yam. Today we're taking a little bit different dimension. In the past two episodes, 30, 31 and 32, series 2, we talked about the yam, how we celebrate the yam, the purpose of the yam, especially in Mbaise nation, how all this we think it originated, and the pomp and pageantry surrounding Iriji in Mbaise land. So during that period, I am echoing somehow. Do you have your phone on?
No,
Okay, some phone is
no, not
echoing
here.
here. Okay. Anyway, um, where was I? So I was trying to share where we came from and why we are here now, and that is continuing on our NDISCO'S Village Meeting podcast, where we share everything we know or we can find out about Africa, society, and culture. And for those of you who have been listening to us, we have had the pleasure of a special guest, one of our renowned own, a son of the soil, like I call him. He's an Ezeji, a Yam Lord, Dr. Kachi Nwoga. This is his third appearance on our podcast. And because he has that authority, not only because he is a medical doctor by profession, but beyond that, he is also a traditionalist. And if you could go back to parts 1 and 2, you could get a good account of his background, religiously, academically, and scientifically, and all. But this aspect that we're talking about is his role in the culture of the land as an Ezeji. So today, he's going to tell us because when we were ending the last episode, he mentioned that we need more Ezeji folks, need more people to participate in that. And then the question I ask is, how do people know how to become an Ezeji? And that's the topic of our today's episode. Welcome, Ezeji Dr. Kachi Nwoga. Welcome back to Discuss
Thank
Village
you very
Meeting.
much. Ndeka yona muchulo.
I don't know. Like
Akpana
we did,
kagigwe neji.
like people know today, because we're talking about tradition, Ezeji will interchange between Igbo, which is the language of our people, and English. He has a good command of all. And hosting you today again is Dr. Maslin and NDISCO'S. So, Dr. Moga, I'm going to leave the floor to you to tell us, you made a request, and tell us what you need or what you're asking for and how to come about that. Welcome to NDISCO'S.
Thank you very much. In the first and second episodes, we talked a lot about the yam culture itself, Iriji, but I felt we also needed to now say, who are these yam kings? And by the way, what does it take to become one? And it's important. It's not one of those titles that is conferred, for instance. All right. Uh, so it is the Ezeji is a society. of ndị mere ihe ji, ndị kwarala ji. Ịkwa is those who have performed the rites of yam. And I will explain those rites of yam. Now, in the Ezeji, it's somebody who has been able to cultivate and harvest yams enough to place in the barn about 8 sticks, 100 sticks of yam. You know that in each stick, you can have between 30, 40, and even 50 yams, depending on the size of the yams.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to have 100 of this. It qualifies you to be initiated. That is the language, to be initiated into the society of NDISCO'S. So, now, how do you get about? Do you go and find yams anywhere and make? No. When you are cultivating yams and you begin to get large numbers, you will notify NDISCO'S from your own area, the nearest NDISCO'S community to you, and tell them your intentions, that if you do get enough yams, you would want to perform the rites of yam.
Mm-hmm.
That is Kachi, that's what you call it. At that point, they will inspect your farm. They will inspect your farm and even give you advice that will be very useful to you to help to improve your harvest. Yes, I have said to get 100 sticks of yam. But in addition, you're going to have the variety of the species of yam as well.
Mm-hmm.
This is what, yes. So when you have 100 sticks and have the relevant variety species of yam in the variety of yams in your barn, cultivated by you, harvested and received by you. When I say by you, you means even if you hire people to work for you, it's still you.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't mean you are going to, nobody is expected that only himself is going to harvest that amount of yams. That's not possible. You have to have, most people do with their families, wives and children. And of course, those who even come to work for you. That's part of what makes you Ogarayan.
Would you then say that's the reason why our forefathers used to marry more than 2, 3 wives so that they have people to help?
Very, very well, and very true. That was one of the reasons our forefathers not only used to marry many wives, used to have produced many children as well. Because all of these people were productive. They were made to be productive. You see, that's one major difference between the society of then and now. Today, we are struggling to get our people to be productive. In that society, people were very productive. They needed more. Everybody was made productive because that was a yardstick for assessment of your value to your family.
And so could it be? Could it also be because they didn't have choices? Like today, like I thought about that when we were comparing then and now, that there are other ways they didn't have the office jobs or these professional jobs nowadays, but all they had was yam and the products of the farm, and so that's all they know. Would you confirm that?
Hired hands have always been part of our society. Yes, okay. Hired hands have been part of our society. Yes. So you hire those who are good at farming. They're hired out. It's actually a job, and they get paid for it.
Okay.
They get paid. Okay. They also fed. Yes, okay. It has been part of So that's been part of our society, and it's part of what shows you somebody of means, that he has many of such and he can afford many of such. Yes.
I see.
So yes, that's what it is. Now, when you are going through this, you can see that this is not a one-time thing. It takes seasons I have not seen anybody Oparaoji in one season. I haven't seen that. And it's very unlikely we're ever going to say that, because to multiply the yams to this number we're talking about, you probably would have cultivated yams over, minimum of 3 seasons of a lot of work. Some people take over up to 10 seasons to do that. So some are lucky, and in 3 seasons they have enough yam. So
Yeah.
it's and a lot depends. Not only does it depend on your labor. Now this is where it is. It doesn't only depend on your labor, because sometimes you can labor more and your harvest will not be enough. We call it Ezeji, the kingship that is bestowed by God. Why? Because it is God, Yahweh, the Lord of the bountiful harvest, that can multiply your harvest to that extent that we're talking about.
I see.
The Lord, the giver of the bountiful harvest in our climb, is what we call Ahajoko. So in theology of today, you can say is Yahweh Ahajoko.
Yeah.
Lord, the giver of the bountiful harvest. That is, without the blessing of God, even your labor will not yield that amount of yams. So it is taken that for God to have blessed the work of your hands to get some anointing in you. And that's why you're initiated in the society of Ezeji. You become an Ezeji. So, that initiates you into the society of Ezeji. And
2 quick questions.
Ezeji. Okay, go ahead.
2 quick questions.
Yes,
for
please,
folks, there's a delay in relay, and so that comes across as if one is interrupting the other. It's just the case of delayed relay from international connection. So bear with us. 2 questions I have for you, Ezeji. One.
Yes.
The way you explained it, and I want people with, it's fairly on my part to show you what he meant. A picture. I have pictures of sticks of yam, but in the next few weeks, I will show one when we are talking about Mbaise. The stakes you're talking about can be found online. Just put up the stake of yam, and you'll see pictures of those. They are tied in rows. Now, question that I have is, for someone who is interested in getting all these number of yams that you have mentioned, it just seems that they have to have many lands or large expanse of lands to be able to do that. I may be wrong. Secondly, those are 2 questions. The second question before I leave is that, how big are these yams? So are they measured to be at a certain, width and length, or could any little one, be counted as one? And those are my questions for now.
Okay. Yes, you will need a lot. You need a lot of land, and you need to cultivate a lot of land to be able to get this number of yams. Definitely that. I can tell you that modern farming of today, like I practice among, one of the things I'm championing, which is a back farming. Back farming reduces the amount of land you need to produce. In fact, with back farming, I can produce about 4 to 5 times the number of yams I would have produced from a particular land.
Oh, wow.
So that's things. Yes, I mean, I've been a proponent of that. I've been demonstrating it myself. Yes, that's one. Now, on the size of yams, we are not as interested as the size per se. Of course, if you do that, if you cultivate that number of yams, you will have a lot of yams of various sizes naturally. Now, every yam comes in. When you're tying the lambs, which is a special art in itself, and a cake, cake and that. Now, the trick is this. If the yams are small, you will need many more yams to make up one steak.
Yes.
I see. So that's why what we count is the sticks. If the yams are big, you need less yams. The yams are big, you can do about 30 yams in a steak. The yams are small, you may take up to 50 to get a steak. So it's your thigh is a steak. So it balances out on its own.
Now the gaps between the steaks, because I've seen this tied, and like I said, I invite you to go on the internet and see these skits. Do you measure the distance between one tied yam to the next? When you say 30 to 50,
as you tie the yams, like I said, there's an art. Each yam rests on the other, so there's no distance between the yams.
You answered the question. Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So, those are my questions. I'm done with questions for now.
M.OPARAOJI is what you do at the divisional level of Ezeji. We have Ezeji in the units of Mbaise. For instance, I'm of Ezeji Ekwarazo, right? Then you have Ezeji Mbaise. It's those units, Ekwarazo, isn't it? All of them that make up Ezeji Mbaise. Now, M.OPARAOJI is at the divisional level.
Okay.
M.OPARAOJI is at a divisional level. Now, when you do that, now remember that when M.OPARAOJI, let me also say this: just making up the yam is not complete on its own. NDISCO'S will also come and make inquiries about the person, and that is why on that day that they are going to initiate you, it is done in public, and the public will be asked publicly. And he said, "Is this man a thief?" Because it is in your home, your village people who know you. And they will answer publicly and say, "No." Because if they say he is, that's the end of the process. They said, "Is he a cheat?" They will ask, "Does he maltreat widows?" Yes. Those questions, these three questions, among other questions, are compulsorily asked publicly. Today we use public address system, and the people will answer. So it's like the bands.
So that is interesting. So not only the amount of yam, but the morals of this person is also, or the values attached. It's attached to the yam also. Yes. So if I have the ability to cultivate all these yam, and one of those attributes that you just mentioned triggers off, I am not a thief. I have all this, but then one thing is off. That stops you from initiating me.
Yes. Oh, that holds the ceremony there, because see, and I will tell you, an Ezeji is many things rolled into one. He is a priest. He is a leader. He's a symbol of fairness, justice. So you are trying to make sure that you don't have the wrong character. You don't have the wrong characters occupying those positions. He's going to be arbitrating on land matters and farm issues. So he must have integrity, and his word must be his bond. So that's what it is. So now, when you have done all the...
before you... Yes. that triggers my curiosity.
No, please go on. Yes.
Now, so you can bring the information out. If you're already an Ezeji now, so we initiate you, and you start falling off of these other attributes, the next thing we hear, you are stealing, or you are, imebu or something is happening. Do we have a right to take that title away from you, the community?
Just like any initiated society, if you begin to go against the expected behavior and culture, you will be reported. Those who are affected will report you, and the society will deal with it. That's why we have disciplinary committees and stuff like that. They deal with it. Found guilty, there are various levels of sanctions, including derobing. At the height of it, yes. It can be expunged.
Oh, wow.
Yes. Yes.
Good.
So
Continue.
Yes. Yes. So now when that is cleared, remember the secret inquiries have been made. This is now the public affirmation at the point of that initiation. Now, the usually the head of the Ezeji of that division, who is the one who does the capping, you know, the initiation, will say, well, I will initiate this man as he has presented, having met the requirements and having heard from you that he is of the right character. If you, as a people, lied to us and we initiated him, let the repercussion be on your head and not on ours.
So they have sponsors who vouch.
Yes, there's a disclaimer, you know, that says you, the one no. He is your son. You own him, and you're telling us he's good. On that, we will initiate him. If you did lie to us, it is on your head and not on us. Yes. So
because it's an ancestral venture. So you have to be careful how you swear on that. Right.
Exactly. Exactly. So and that's why I say, when some people think it's a title and they don't understand that it's beyond title. It's an initiation into a society, you know, and it is a priesthood. It is something. So now, to buttress it, after that, you got for here. You get for here. You get for here. You know. Give for here. Give what. So all those things are given to you. The bangles, the necklaces, the fans,
attire for that,
the towel, the attire, all those. Yes, and you will go. You will go to the market, and you'll be presented to the entirety of your people, because they need to know that this person is no longer an ordinary person. And if you look at in Igbo society, the only three things I know, when I say Fuahia, now remember that Fuahia literally means going to the market, present the market.
I was going to ask you to expand on that. Yes.
Good. That means if the biggest public in our traditional society is the market. When you say in the marketplace, it means in the midst of everyone. Because just take it, everybody comes to market. Yes. So that is the biggest. Traditionally, that's our biggest gathering of people, the market. So marketplace means the market. It also means everyone. It means in the public. That's what marketplace is. So if I means taking him to the marketplace, taking him to the public. Now, there is a little thing we need to understand. In our society today, the marketplace now also competes with another gathering, in Mbaise in particular. In the Catholic Church, which is, we have a great majority of our people being Catholic, you know, in the church now is a big gathering, same as the market. So you can choose to do that in the market, traditional marketplace. You can also be presented in the church.
Oh, really?
Yes. So either of them is presentation to the public, because that is the biggest gathering of our people. Those two now are the biggest gathering of our people.
Let me interrupt you there, because that is beginning to, somebody, called me the other day. I'm like, are you sure? Did I ask different Ezeji people are they all thinking the same way? Does that apply? What you are sharing applies? I said, this is the authentic one, a person that I know. Not that I know a lot of Ezejis. I'm married to one. But the thing is, those that practice it every day. And this is why I ask you these questions, to clarify, because those are the questions that also come to other people. When you say that you either present in the church or in the market, are we now taking the tradition off of the culture and placing it in the church? Because church is different. And
No.
it's just like, for example, marriage. People have said, in the really what traditional marriage that I present to people, um, the church, going to churches wasn't even part of our tradition. It became part of what we want to do. So is G becoming that kind of tradition, you think?
Okay. No, I would say that because that's why I took time to explain what the market holds. It's not
Yeah.
because it's a Mbaise or because it's a full way.
Yes.
It's because it's the public. It's the public that is it's a target when you're going to the market.
I see.
It's not the
Okay.
ground of the market itself. It is the fact
Oh,
that where you have a gathering
where the
of
people
your
are.
people.
Okay.
Exactly.
So in other
So
words, before in the old days we didn't have church, or
we didn't have church that
that
could
we
gather
have
people.
now, that has pulled the crowd that
Exactly.
used
I
to go
think,
to the market to call off for and all that.
thank you.
I see. I
Today.
see.
Good.
Yeah.
Remember that in those days, if you needed to make any announcement, you go to market and use
The
the
gong.
gongs and make the
Yes.
announcement, and it said,
Yes.
"Equally na hionyo wala no niya."
Yes.
Today, you take that announcement to the church and everybody hears it.
I
So
got
that's
it now.
something.
I
Yes.
got it.
So
Yes.
that's the implication of that.
I got
So
it.
Eli, and like I said, I know only about three kinds of things that you can go to market. No matter the kind of chieftaincy title you take, you don't go to the public, you don't go to the market. And I'll
Okay.
fire. But in our fire, number one, Eze is ordinary, traditional
Yes.
ruler.
Yes.
Fire. Now, there's another one. I won't hear fire, but it's the same thing. When you ordain a priest, he goes and says his first mass at home. Is also a fire in the real
I
sense, in
see.
the sense of presenting him to the public.
Yes. Yes.
Good,
It makes sense.
good,
It makes sense.
good, good. So it's for, you see, when we keep telling people about the spirituality of all of this, many people who are not part of the system do not understand it, and some would even want to wish it away or wash it away or try to denigrate it or make it belittle and all that. But I keep telling people our forefathers, as far as I can tell, we are smarter and wiser than we are
They
today.
were.
We have
They
not
were.
shown that we are more wise than they are. No, we
Yeah.
have not in any way. Because
Well,
without the
well,
aid
the
of the
argument is that
tools
we
we
thought
have today,
education will make us, we thought education will make us wiser. Education in the four walls of a building.
education is a
Yeah.
tool. Education is a tool that can be used to get us wiser. But my worry
Yes.
is that with all the tools we have today, education, internet, everything, we have not
We're not.
exhibited the level of wisdom these people showed without any of these tools.
I agree.
They had
I
the
agree.
technology to manipulate the weather without any of these tools of today. They didn't have
I know. I
laboratories
know.
that we have today. And they were able to devise all of these things. So anybody who dismisses the wisdom of our forefathers does so to his own peril. That's all I
I,
keep saying.
I agree. Now that
So
takes me
our
to one
job
more
is
question
to
for you.
study that wisdom and see how we can make it. I call it making it scientific. When I mean making it scientific, so that you can remove the veil of the shrouding it in some bit of
Ignorance.
ignorance and even fetish and all that. Shroud it. Remove that veil. Make it scientific so that we can replicate, sustain, improve, and document. Mm.
So I have two questions for you.
Yes.
One is, when you say it takes about 100 steaks to become, to be able to, get
To
to that
qualify,
level
yes.
of becoming chief. Yes.
To qualify,
What
yes.
What if during a period you go below that? Does that take you away from being an agent? Or if you already made that 100 stakes and you're given the title, you are it for life, even at the end, or maybe 5 years, 10 years down the line, you don't even have one yam in your band.
It's an
What happens?
initiation.
Okay.
is an initiation. Now, look at what are initiations. Let me tell you the common one with the baptism. When you are baptized, are you not baptized for life? It's an initiation.
Okay.
Do
Okay.
you understand?
Yes.
There are periods in which you renew your vows. As long as age, there are also periods in which, but you can also restock your band. You want to reestablish, restock, right? Yes. Well, I won't say much about mine, but I know that in the course of my renovations, my band was affected, and I'm doing something about now. Another. That's an additional. This is the fun of it. This is. It doesn't talk the fact that I'm already initiated. All right.
I see.
So that's what it is.
So
Yes.
because the argument also for that is that some people, even if you need 100 stakes, some people have doubled that before they were even given that title. Some people like they have more yams than needed to be that, plus all the moral aspects that you talked about. Now, let me go back to asking you about the Ifuahia or Ifu Church. For someone who
It's
is
still
going
called
to back,
Ifwaya. Even when you go to the church to do it, it's still called Ifwaya.
Ifuahia. Okay. So for somebody
Yes.
who is Ifuahia, and we're talking about the expenses there too. If somebody is now calculating, what does is there are there expenses too? Ifuahia, do they have to feed people with yam? Do they have to give anything out there to people who come to that ceremony, Ifuahia ceremony?
Okay, let me tell you something. Every aspect of Ikwaji goes with a lot of feasting.
Okay.
From the time you invite in this Ezeji to come and even look at your farm. Because that's where, yes, you will also entertain them. And they won't spare you when it comes to entertain, because in Ezeji when you're a man of means to come and Ezeji. So you're not expected that you're not able to feed people. No. You're expected that you're able to feed people. In fact, part of what you're doing is to demonstrate that you're able to feed people. That's part of what it is.
I see.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So at every stage, and there are various stages. I have tried to summarize this. These things I'm telling you now may be up to 6 stages. Now, these things I've told. So I've just tried to summarize them, because you invite at the smaller level, then up to the divisional level, all of these people now go. And each time you do that, you just a lot of feeding goes. In fact, not just feeding, there's a list of things you must provide in terms of food. Various food. It's not just yam. Mukuru, mazo. All of those things are in the list.
The traditional dishes, yes.
Motra, mofe, moba. All of those things, they are listed and must be provided. To the volume that is, for the volume, for the people there, including Jaga. So you can imagine, by the time when you're in Boroji, each of the existing Ezeji will also take a number of yams home from your band.
Yeah, I remember that one from my father-in-law's
good.
So people
it's not
walked
all
away
of
with
this. So even
yams, yes.
So yes, it is it. That's why you're working. That's why you're a man of means. That's why you're a big farmer. That's why you're a farmer that God has blessed. So now, when you have put yourself out in the marketplace, as we put it, of course, you can't do that in any society without having food. Then feed people that will come home to say, "Oh, we saw you," and they follow you home. Definitely, you will. I mean, just imagine that you did a Thanksgiving in the church. You don't need to send out any special invitation. They say, "Oh, we're in church today. We saw you at the Thanksgiving." They come home to say, "Thank God with you," and they're not going on an empty stomach.
So that brings me to the next item. Let's go to the other level of this, and that is to the level of why, apart from that yam aspect, you've mentioned land disputes. belong at the feet of the Yam Lord, Ezeji. Is this practice all over, or is it something that some Ezeji people don't even know, or some communities don't realize, and they take their cases somewhere else? Should they now, as we define, we start now define things as they are now, realize that the Ezeji is in charge of land disputes and whatever else they do.
Okay, thank you. The Ezeji is a farmer. He is the Lord, is the king of agriculture. Yam is the king of crops. So Yam represents agriculture. He's Ezeji, but that's G is representing every other farm, every other produce of the farm.
Yes.
Yes. So as you need good. So now there's dispute arises in the farm. Who is better placed to discuss and understand even these lines you are drawing in the farm? That is not the person who is conversant with the farm. That's the principle upon which in this Ibala. Ibala was so long as government ceded to you in development. No, that doesn't concern this age. We're talking about disputes in farmland, a land that things are planted on, and there's a dispute. Either things have been planted or things are being planted, and there's a dispute. Traditionally, it's called Ezeji. All right. Now,
you seem to be frozen. Are you there, Dr. Kachi? Are you there? I think your line froze. Well, as we wait for him to unfreeze, these are some of the technical difficulties that happen when we are relaying our podcast internationally. Are you back? There you go.
Yes.
We lost you a little bit.
Sorry, I didn't know who left that.
No, that's okay. It happens.
So, like I said, I don't know. We have lost a lot of our culture. There's so much missing.
And that's why we're tackling it now. We gradually, it's never late to start. I may not be able to think of everything.
And a lot of people.
Yes, go ahead. You're freezing again. Did you move around or something?
No, I noticed, I don't even know what's happening, whether it's my side, but I guess it's always our side over here. So, so you just blank out, and I see my.
Yeah, you keep going in and out.
Now, and those things are responsible for. Okay, let me tell you now. A lot of people go to court, and for 30 years, they are trying to adjudicate over a land matter. What does that tell you? It tells you that that is not the right system for dealing with such things. A lot of people have gone and got crazy verdicts from people who otherwise should be leaders, Mawanda Ladema, even traditional councils and stuff like that. But the people will always end up happy. There are principles in this age apply, maybe first and foremost, within this age, around that area as the people of they are the prime witnesses. That's one. Two is that in this age, they will neither drink nor eat from you until it is amicably settled and accepted by both parties.
Okay.
Yes.
So is that a common practice?
They will not accept any entertainment and not even water from you. Yes. So there are a number of things they do that help them to ensure. And I give it as an assignment. In fact, I will have to mention his name, and it's for good, it's not for bad. It is Professor T. Nwala. He
That's a good name
decided
to
to
mention.
become an Ezeji. Yes. In fact, he will tell you that in the Ezeji for many years in their family. And they now gave them the information, say, go and bring in this age. He's on this age. Nandeziji settled the land matters for them in that one season. It was over and complete, and the entire family came together and applauded. And he said, wow, this is a wonderful society. I must become a member of this. That is what inspired him, Koje Kwaji. So this is how it is. So we lose a lot. You're not doing this age any favor by bringing your disputes to them. Rather, you are helping society to solve what otherwise have become intractable, embarrassing, and ugly issues.
So that brings me to my question.
Yes.
I have a question to clarify that. So, some of the things that we are doing in Igbo land, some of them we are not doing because we're ignorant of what the facts are, or we're not doing it the way it's supposed to be because we just have half knowledge of that. But that's why I want to clarify. You made a point that if we clearly demarcate stuff, we will not have any difficulties, because in Igbo land, the biggest headache people have is land disputes. You agree with me on that? That some people take to the NDISCO'S, some people take to the reverend fathers of the churches or pastors, whether you're Anglican or anything. They now are also delving into land disputes, divisions and all that. I'm not saying that nobody is qualified, but if you are saying that Ezeji, that's their right because they own the land as Yam Lords, why don't we have that all clearly demarcated everywhere? And in that case, they have the hierarchy of, if the Ezeji are not coming to, agreement of how to settle this, we go to the next level and to the next, we call it, escalation of issues in corporate world. So in the traditional world, if Ezeji cannot settle this, who do people then go to? Where do they take it to?
Well, I'm not even sure it's an appellate system, but I know that there are several, arbitration mechanisms. It is in their courts. They have courts. There's a stand like there's the judiciary and executive arm of government at the local level as well.
Okay.
Now the issue is that Onwendeze mappa this role very well, and have actually benefited by asking Ndeziji to take those matters and resolve. And if you ask those Ezes, they will tell you that that is the best thing they have done for themselves, because Ndeziji are very well suited and have always delivered on this kind of assignments. Like I said, traditionally, we didn't have in administration wise, the Igbo society had a lot of lacuna administration wise. Not that the facilities were not there, but in terms of order of
the hierarchy,
what it's in many areas and all that. So we now have the government type of system. We have autonomous communities. They are led by traditional rulers and they legislate over things within their community. I would say that the Eze legislation is the highest legislation in any community. Yes. So that is there. However, like I said, some Ezes understand the critical role of Ezeji. And when this happens, when such a thing happens, they employ the service in Ezeji, please take this matter and go and settle for these people. And like I said, yes, beautiful results have come from those. There are families who understand it too, and they voluntarily go and say, Ezeji, please, want to bring a matter to you. We will settle. And every time it comes, Ezeji have always gone out of their way to settle the matter.
I see. Now, I'm going to be giving you prompt questions because today my intention is not to go over 1 hour, so we are doing fine by time. Now,
yes,
the question number one I have for you is that do we have cases where we have an Ezeji who is also has the title of Onyeze, also who has already been an Nze, or also is there someone who holds all this title? And if you hold those, does that preclude you from then being able to pursue that of Ezeji?
no, we have some traditional rulers in there who have, even while they were traditional rulers, come and be initiated, Haja Kwaji, because they know the value of G and
Okay.
Iheji. We have people who wear answers, and also all of those, we have them. And Iheji Kwaji. As a matter of fact, in the old Mbaise society, Igaha ones and also now Haji. Nze is different from the Nze you have of today.
I don't know the difference. Maybe that's another topic for another day. You see, when they start talking about Igbo culture, it's like
we had a Concord, we had Nze. Yes, in the Nze today is like a somehow there's a political aspect of it. They are delineated into words, what you call Nze words, and Nze represents that word and all that. It's and is conferred by the Eze. The Eze now appoints citizens and all that.
Oh, wow.
So the Nze we had before as a council would be higher than like the highest decision making body of of a people then. So there's some difference between that. We don't even have it as it were anymore, in this in that form. Anyway,
yeah. So like I said, that would be a topic for another day, because you also mentioned
Ikwaji is so special.
Yeah, you also mentioned Okonko, which I have no idea what that is.
No, don't worry. That's for another day. So Ikwaji is is a very special thing. Anya when the father Paraji.
I was going to ask, that was one of my questions. So a priest can Paraji.
Good. Like to Father Makri.
Yeah.
Yes, Father P.C. Makri. I'm when there's Kwaraji. Some of them Kwaraji before how eze. When the water Kwareze, they are Kwaraji.
So and when age limit, and when age,
no,
nigga got before.
It's about it's about yams. It's about yams. So and there's when there's a age.
And when age.
So and
before I got back
no, the reason is that okay, good. That brings us to another topic of people and their children. Now, the man who cultivated the yams knows who supported him to cultivate the yams. So any of his sons who participated, supported him in any form to cultivate the yams, in any form, even if he was just bringing water to him in the farm. If he considers that that son has an interest in the yam culture, it is not his consideration, he will include him in the rights of a paja. And the person becomes an Ezeji. Yes, as well. So it's that. Now, is one of the things that has helped us to maintain a succession, because you cannot bequeath that to your child. However, your child, your son in particular, can join with you in performing the rites. on the same 100 sticks of yam and become an Ezeji. So it shows interest. And I can tell you what, you see, nature is interested. God is interested. If you go and bring somebody because you want him to be part of it, and he gives you he will perform, he will finish the ride with you, and you will never even see him anywhere. He will get up to you, begging him, come now, he will say, I'm not coming. That's the nature of this world. That's why we say it's a very spiritual thing. Yes. But the person that has the interest.
Two quick questions, right?
Yes.
One.
Yes.
If you're already like you now, Ezeji, Kachi, you are already an Ezeji, and you have a young one who you want to see them, be able to follow your footsteps, not waiting till they are able to cultivate yam. Is there a ceremony where you do now to, get him involved in your own, and so that he can already be initiated while you are still you already have been initiated, but between now and when they are ready to do their own 100 stakes, is that possible?
Yeah. The network obviously did some acting up. So the last I heard is wanting to, if I want my children, I want to follow my footsteps.
Yeah. Like you want to initiate them with what you already have.
No, you can't initiate with what you already have. You have to go through the entire process from beginning again. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. You have to go through the entire process from beginning again. So it's not a light thing. It's not done lightly. And obviously, I don't think any father wants to begin that entire process for a child who is not showing enough interest as to inspire you to go through that whole hog.
I see.
Yes.
One more question for you. I know we're talking about men and yams.
Yes.
What is it that precludes women from being Ezeji?
Why are you doing now? Where's it? So where's the call?
So is that from is that a tradition? Is that a reason?
Chief is many things to many people. I'm one as well. So it's many things and can become many things to many. But Ezeji is a spiritual thing, like I said. It's an initiation, a society. I'm so why I'm father. So so
okay,
I don't know. So those are like every Ezeji is a priest of Ahajok. Every Ezeji is a priest of Ahajok. Yes, but we are married, and our wives went to farm with us, and they're not left out when we're being initiated. Our wives are also recognized and also join in the initiation as lawless age. That's what they are called. Lawless age. They also have their own rules in when it comes to the ceremonies, when it comes to the things to do with the yam. They also have certain rules that they play. Like I told you, Ezeji Wakranya, who must continue to feed people. So our women have a lot of role to play, in that.
So the question now also I have is you've mentioned the number of yams or stakes that somebody has to. That's the first requirements. They what? And it is when you are ready. It could take 3 years or more years to have those stakes. So work on your own pace. I got that. Number 3, the men are the ones who do this. It's not women are not involved. They're involved in support, not in the initiation of this particular title.
Yeah, but we don't.
I got that.
We don't put asunder. They are joined with their wives, so their wives are part of it.
Okay. So the other thing now, so I'm asking if I am putting myself as, not in the as wine, but call me Emeka or John, asking these questions on behalf of those that are not here to ask the question. Now I know why, and I know I have to be of moral values, of all those morals of not um uh, uh you know um maltreating the widows, or being a thief,
Yeah.
or be a man of integrity, be a good person, right? According to the Yam. What
Yes.
else do I need? If I want to now venture into this, who should I call? Who do I go to for advice or to talk in
You
NBC?
will go to Ezeji in your own community. That's where you
Okay.
start from. Yes,
Okay.
you will go to Ezeji in community. That's where you start from. Identify any of them, and the person will hold you by the hand and take you through the process. He will take
Okay.
you to the division. He will take you all through, get through all the requirements for you, and even organize layers between you and the society of Ezeji.
Okay. Because I see during the
Mm.
ceremony, like we're going to see on August 15th on NBC soil, um, one of the reasons you brought that forward, that you need more people, is because we have a lot of them elderly, and the numbers are dwindling as we lose some of them to the next world, and so the call is for that. And there are communities that these are worse off for than others. Are there communities that don't have any at all?
Yes, yes, we have. Yes. In fact, if you come to the major clans of Mbaise, I dare to say Ahera and Okovro in particular, we're very deficient. We're very
Okay.
deficient. We don't even have existing divisions of Ezeji. So
Okay.
1 or 2 or 3 persons there have to even join another division to be able to exist, to be able to associate, to be able to operate.
So
Because you can't have a division of one.
one of the things I heard from you is that I know there are SAGs that either their parents initiated, like in the case of my husband, Prophet M.OPARAOJI, SAG was initiated by the dad, but they don't belong. Not there are some others, but they don't belong to an entity like you saying. It's not everyone that is titled belongs to an association. So you are also voicing that these people should identify themselves with the group, so that it's authentic. They are put in on the list
Well,
of who is who.
uh, okay, yes, and I will tell you something so that we get it right. If
Okay.
they were initiated along with their parents,
Mhm.
we'll have them on their register.
Okay. Who will have on the
Come
register?
to
Who?
register
Whose register are we talking about?
with Ezeji. So you be registered in your division for you to be able to be presented to Ezeji Mbaise. That is the central Ezeji now. Hello.
What did that? Yeah,
Uh,
I'm hearing you. Did that start
Frozen
before
again or
or
something?
what? When did that
Oh
start?
my.
I'm hearing you. I'm hearing you, though. I hear you, Doctor Nwoga. I hear you.
Each
I can hear
division
you.
has
Can you hear
register.
me?
Each division, like Ezeji Kwarazo now, has the register.
But I'm asking when that started. Did this start from the beginning? Did our forefathers have registers?
Yes, they had the Debahan now, what as they put it, Debahan, Debahan here. That's what they call, because it's part of the rites that are performed. You understand?
Yeah.
Debahan.
Because I
Mm.
asked, when you mentioned it last time, I asked around, and they're
Okay,
like
let me let
some
me
people.
let me give you an instance. Let me
Yes.
give you an instance. In the very old time, before the art of writing became popular, they
Mhm.
used to use Oche to know if you go Oche. Now,
Yes.
if you go to the SAG hall, like I told you, every market usually would have an SAG hall. So once you're initiated, they will give you a chair. So here, oche onye dị otu, oche onye dị otu. Do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
So that was one of the things they used to hold and know who, so that was a registration of some sort. That was how it was marked. So each person will have, and that's why sometimes when those days when somebody would pass, they would tell the family that Oche no adiponye borie.
Yeah, that could have been happening. That could have been happening in some areas. What I'm hearing, and that may be contrary to what the other divisional areas are, is that there wasn't an official, maybe that started newly, of registration. It's not because the relevance and the not relevance because it's always there, but the to make it so people know and to keep a head count is why we keep hearing this registration now, is to make it an entity that people will now recognize is there. That has been there, but now it's not like head counted. But I see where you guys are going with it. If you want to register, if you want people to come register, there's nothing bad in that.
Let me explain. It's not an issue of, we hardly have that issue. Let me explain it very well. We hardly have that issue. Even if you say there's sport accommodation, let me explain to you. I told you in one of the earlier editions that every Ezeji division, they meet every 8 days. Good. Now, they also pay certain dues and stipends and levies. Even if you are never there, you would be paying your levies. And there are things that are also distributed. There are things that are shared. Akwaji, for instance, Jinda Hanabur and some things like that are also shared. Even if you are not there, their own share will also be given to you. So Yama Mpage Kwarageji, he doesn't get one more share. He doesn't get one share anymore. He gets 2 shares. So it's difficult to say for the records not to be there at all. Right? Reason is that there's a contribution that would have been made, that was being made, and there's also things that were being distributed in accordance to the number of people. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I do, but I also figure that when there wasn't a stable modus operandi, these things could also move. That some people, maybe they are not home, maybe they are in the cities, they don't know what is going on. It's like people doing in Hebrew. Some people don't even know what, unless you have somebody at home who will say, hey, this person belongs to that, and then, talks about or asks for their own stuff. But we're not going to delve too much into that. But I hear what you're saying, that if you know you are one, you need to find your base now and register to be counted. And somebody has to vouch for you that there is a connection between the title and
no, it's not even vouching. You will find a record, I can tell you that, because you would have been having your own payment and would have been getting your own shares, because okay. So all of those things so it's not just in the air, because it's a serious matter.
I'm delving into it so that people will know what it entails, because again, it's a whole lot going on with it that people need to understand. So we are asking for people to come and participate, to become one, get initiated, and these are all the things that are entailed in those. And we have been able to express that. And we also say, if they want some more inquiries, they have you, or they have also their own territorial basis to go to ask questions. Yes. Anything else you have for us? Because we're going to round this up. Anything that we have omitted?
Yes. Well, unless I go through, I guess I know there are things that have come to my mind. I'm trying to track.
Okay.
to see
Go
I
ahead.
can
Let's
fetch
see if
them
we
from
can
where
do
they
that
are.
in 5 minutes. Yes.
I can't remember much, but what I would say is this: all of these things are done, just like all our cultures are done, for the purpose of living our society organized, peaceful.
Yes.
And I believe that we all get blessings from getting these things done right. Now, in 70 years ago this year, August 15th of this year will be exactly 70 years of August 15th.
Okay.
70 years ago, this tradition, this culture was under threat.
Yeah.
Where people thought that the church should banish it. Our fathers fought and convinced and showed the church that it was indeed something holy, something worthy. And they were able to institute this with the church under Bishop Whelan. He presided. Our fathers took the tough journeys of riding bicycles to Owerri 70 years ago. Among the group that came to Owerri, there's only one of them still alive. And much of the stories we have are courtesy of him. His name is D.W. Eke, Dominic Eke. There was three 10 years ago, he was the president of Ezeji. He is 97 years old now. And he's the last of those people that went. I want our people to know that if our fathers, without the knowledge that we claim to have today, could convince the church and preserve this huge event of Mbaise, this covenant of Mbaise, this harvest of Mbaise, it behoves us to understand it, to cherish it, and to preserve it even more than they did. We run a risk today of people who do not understand where we started and where we come from and what these things mean to us. For everybody, I say this: covenants are real. For us, as priests of Ahajago, we know that violation of covenants have consequences.
Yeah.
We should look beyond the party, the frenzy, the pomp and pageantry. We should never, ever undermine the spirituality of what we do.
Okay. That sounds like we got our work cut out cut out for us, because there's a whole
My
lot that
advice
is
is Ezeji.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
they don't have a thought out, a well. Yes, they don't have an organized, they don't have an organized process like we do have. Strict and even have a lot of documentation that we have. Yes. So I would say, and I'll say again and again, let us make the best of what we have. Mbaise is the biggest thing in Igbo land as far as land is concerned. Nothing compares with it. Why? Because in Mbaise having the Ezeji that other people don't have.
Yeah.
We have Ushiji and Enoguta. It is not the same as the Ezeji in Mbaise. Yes, something to do with the Yam prowess, yes, but not the spirituality of Ndezeji in Mbaise. Ndezeji is not a club like any other. No, it's not a club, not a session like any other. It is a society that people are initiated into. They are priests of Ahajako. They have a spiritual role to play. Of course, Ndezeji are also human beings. So all the ills and terrible things inside, you will also find inside the human beings, inside Ndezeji. But it doesn't remove their role or responsibility. And neither does it in any way belittle what they represent as a Ndezeji. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Dr. Kachi. One of the things you mentioned that we really had to do is to say that Ezeji is just the title we use in Mbaise, but other people have their own titles for the same role, right?
Similar, not the same. No,
Similar.
not the same. None has.
No,
Yes,
similar
no,
title for
yes.
same role,
There are
not the
people
same
who
role. Yeah.
exactly the similar tattoos, but not the same role exactly. Ours is deeper. Ours is not a conferment like a chieftaincy. Ours is an initiation into a society.
Okay.
Yes.
So on that
Yes.
note, we are going to round up and first of all start by thanking immensely Dr. Kachi Nwoga Ezeji. I know that he has a whole lot on his plate, being a farmer, a spiritual person involved in a lot of religious organizations like Sunday, like today. It's like pulling him out of many. A medical doctor who is, practicing still. And he mentioned IT the other time. I don't know how he does all this. And then the SAG role, especially as we prepare for Mbaise coming up August 15th. I know that these are all so much going on. But to find that time to come talk to us, Ezeji, I can't really, I don't know how to say thank you, but I am just hoping that our ancestors will bless you some more. Um, for those of you
Amen.
who really want to
Amen.
know more about Ezeji, now you have your answer. Maybe we'll have him come back for one more time to tell us about the one he keeps mentioning that I have no idea where to find information on, and that's the Okonko. The Okonko one. Okay. So,
Uh,
yeah. So I don't know if you have a last word just for 30 seconds before we round this up,
let
Dr.
me just
Kachi.
let me appreciate you. Yes, let me appreciate you. Let me appreciate you. Yeah, let me appreciate you, Doc, for all that you do to help to educate our young ones, to
Thank
keep these
you.
things alive, to make sure we're using the internet space for the right things, and I also ask that the God of the bountiful harvest will give you bountiful harvest in all your endeavors for that.
Thank you
For
so much.
the rest of us,
Thank you. I
amen,
appreciate that.
amen. So for the rest,
Thank you.
yes, for the rest of us, Nambise, ihe anyị ji ihe anyị ji wụ oke ihe, anyị lezie ya anya, jisie ya ike, dozie ya edozie. Unu anwụjule.
Amen to that. And again, I like the way, Dr. Kachi, you intertwine what we have today, the religion, the Christianity, to our culture. They are not too far apart. I love the fact that you mentioned that a priest is also an Ezeji, Kwaraji. That's what we're encouraging nowadays when we're pushing agriculture. Hopefully, we have a lot of Ezeji people coming up in the next few years by your count. Okay. I use this opportunity to thank everybody. And I do this not because I have a lot of time on my hand. I'm not even retired. I do it for the fun and also for the questions that come from the young ones. They are like wet sponges. They need more information. Yes, they have all of them in the internet, but they don't know what to look for. So you mention it. If you give them that clue, they run with it. I can't begin to tell you how many of these young ones have asked, went through this, they've gone through these episodes and they're asking a lot more about our G and the Mbaise for that matter. And even those that are not from Mbaise are trying to understand how the yam it functions in their areas and their roles. So it's an eye opener. I could be writing a lot of them in books, but we have young ones that are of digital age. They will like things that come to them, and in a few minutes or a few hours, they're done. And the good of this is that the podcasts are long, yes, but you can go start, finish, and go. And I want to thank a lot of you who have been increasingly going to this podcast. People, my host keeps telling me, oh, the numbers are increasing who go there. Please subscribe to my YouTube area so that I can, and that includes telling me the ones you like, giving me your, opinion as to, or asking questions that I can take back to Ezeji and all of the people who come on. And we have a lot more to go. So thank you so much, everyone. And thank you, Ezeji. We may not meet. Yes, yes.
Yeah,
yes.
If you let me close this with, because you mentioned the church. I have said it and I tried to expand it.
Yes.
People, when you say Yahweh Rapha, we know is Lord the healer.
Yes.
All right. Now we say Yahweh El Shaddai, Lord the Almighty God. Now you see, all of these are the one and the same God, expressions of God. All right. So when Mbaise, please never get confused. When we say Yahweh Ahijoko, that is Lord, the giver of the bountiful harvest. It's not a different God from the God we are working. It's important that we understand it. So we have carried everything we do to the one true Almighty God, and we have expressions of our God in relation to what we ask. Lord the merciful, Lord this, Lord that is one God.
Yes, you did mention that, and thank you for, reminding us of that fact that we are all worshiping one God, whatever we do, and including G. And I want to in advance congratulate you, because I don't think we're going to talk again before the August 15th EG, because you are the coordinator and amongst the coordination team of this August 15th EG coming up. And I wish you guys great success. Yeah. And welcome to Rigi. Thank you, everyone. I have been your hostess, Dr. Maslina and M.OPARAOJI, and saying thank you. And always remember the message of Ubuntu. We are because you are. Or the other way around, I always turn it. You are because we are. So we are there to help each other, to learn from each other, and to share. Again, thank you, Dr. Kachi Nwoga.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Bye-bye, everyone.